everybody, and welcome to Task Force Geek Spoiler Alert. I am your host with the most, Beth Freely, and I am joined by my partner in crime, Walt, anime fan Thompson. Our usual host, Dirk, is somewhere on his way to Dallas, if he's not already here.
He should already be here.
He should already be here for Fan Expo, and we were going to have Steve join us, but hey, Steve's got to go coach a soccer team, and that's okay. We don't mind.
One other thing I'd like to say is happy birthday, Beth.
Thank you.
Today is Beth's birthday. I was holding off on that all day for now.
Thank you all. Yeah, I was going to have like a little birthday crown and everything and totally forgot about it, so that's all right. That's all good. So today we are talking about episode 6 of Spoiler Alert, What If? Marvel's What If. What was the whole title of it? Well,
what if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark?
Oh yeah, that's right. This is the one that puts the whole kibosh on the MCU altogether.
Or another one that puts the whole kibosh.
Yes. And one of the things I just thanks, Mom. Mom's wishing me a happy birthday. Aww.
Hey, Mom. Welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you for joining us too. One thing I noticed people were saying all over the internet about this particular episode is that after a zombie episode and another episode of doom and gloom, they're like, oh no, another episode of destruction. Well, yeah, that's kind of what the series is about. That's kind of the point of the series. And this one I think is a doozy.
Yeah, it's and there's a lot of Easter eggs in this too that complement what we already know. Yeah. So,
you want to start with an Easter egg? And I can go for it.
The one Easter egg is, let's see, revealing Obadiah Stane.
Man, that was just like right in the face,
right off the bat.
Yep.
Calling him out and also mentioning the 10 rings. So
that was the one I caught. That's a nice tie-in to
Shang-Chi right now.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good there. That one right there was like I said, right off the bat, a big shocker. I was like, whoa.
I want to know, what was Killmonger doing in the 10 rings? What was the mission he was on with the SEALs in that particular scenario?
Right. In fact, knowing Killmonger, he probably eliminated the 10 rings. So
probably, which leads to the question: was he actually there with the Navy SEALs, or was he actually there as the leader of the War Dogs?
I don't know if he was there as the leader of the War Dogs, but you never know.
They do mention the War Dogs in this episode, which this is the first time we've heard of them in the MCU.
Right, because we didn't hear about them until the Black Panther movie. Yeah,
and even then it was kind of glossed over, because the War Dogs also leads to the whole White Panther thing that they're setting up with Bucky. Right. Originally, the White Wolf. The White Wolf. White Wolf is the leader of the War Dogs.
Right.
And in the comics, that was actually T'Challa's half brother.
No, not his half brother. He was a step brother.
Yeah.
He was adopted.
So
basically, you could what do you call it? You could Dino. His step brother was like Dino Boyd from the old Hanna-Barbera Dino Boy cartoon.
You parents, didn't you?
Plane crash, kicked the kid out of the plane with a parachute. He landed in Wakanda.
Yep.
He was Dino Boyd.
I love the fact that you just went into whole Dino Boy mode. That was awesome.
That's a deep cut. That's a pulled one out of the you know what award for me today.
No. I've come to the conclusion that if there's an old cartoon out there that somebody wants to know about, you know about it. It's the truth.
I might know about it. Oh, by the way, another side note, since we like to go on tangents, Dino Boy premiered with Space Ghost. So
Space Ghost, Coast to Coast. I loved Space Ghost. Oh my god.
So when Space Ghost premiered, you got two little short episodes of Space Ghost and Dino Boy was sandwiched in the middle. Yep. So anyway.
No, that was good. I almost forgot about that. So let's take a look at some of these Easter eggs that you've got, because everything that I've got is after what you have pulled together here.
Okay.
Let's share this.
Okay, so of course, this is, the coming back from Afghanistan, and everything. And this is also where Obadiah Stane was revealed.
See somebody else who knows who Dino Boy is. Yeah.
I know Sean knows who Dino Boy is. So one of my favorite Easter eggs is this right here. When after all is said and done, and Pepper explains to Rhodey how everybody always wants something from Tony Stark, and she couldn't see what it was. And then Killmonger goes to Tony and mentions about a project that he had at MIT about unmanned drones. And who in the MCU do we know had unmanned drones? I mean, we had Whiplash, and Justin Hammer. But this time, Tony and Killmonger collaborate to make these unmanned drones. And the big joke here, which is an Easter egg, is Tony looks at how gaudy the robot is, and or the drone is, and then Killmonger responds with, what can I say? I'm an anime fan.
Yep, I'm an anime fan, which he actually is.
That's an even deeper cut, because the animated show Genlock, which also premiered on the Cartoon Network or Adult Swim, you can also buy on DVD, and I think it's streaming on some streaming service. I can't remember which one. Genlock, he is a co-producer on that anime show. Yes, he does.
Cool.
He's the voice of the main character, and he's also a co-producer. Also, let's see if I got a picture of it here. There's his suit, which, and the one thing that I wanted to show, I don't think it opened up here. Being an anime fan, Michael B. Jordan insisted that his outfit resemble Vegeta's outfit from Dragon Ball Z.
He did. He even said that for the movie, though, didn't he? For Black Panther. Yeah, that's what I thought.
for the movie. So his outfit is designed on Vegeta, and I thought I had a picture here of Vegeta that I could show, and apparently I don't. It did not open, and I'm pretty PO'd about that. Anyway,
you can go find it. That's fine.
Anyway, those of you who know what Dragon Ball Z is, and those of you who know Vegeta, and in the blurred community, Dragon Ball Z is huge. Mm-hmm. If I would say Dragon Ball is number one, and the three guys that the blurs like to go to are Vegeta, Goku, and Piccolo, not in that particular order.
Surprisingly enough, the only one that I know out of all Dragon Ball Z is Goku.
Yeah. So that was a big thing.
Here's one thing that I appreciated about this episode, and that's going back to that very first picture you had up, is the fact that all of this takes place during the original Iron Man timeline. Yeah, so this picture actually is after Killmonger rescues Tony and they get back from Afghanistan. And, obviously, what if Killmonger rescued Tony? It totally negates Iron Man. We have no Iron Man. Yes.
Tony spends his time, instead of making the Iron Man suit, he spends his time making
the Liberator
his Liberator drones.
Drones.
Yeah. Let's see. We get Claw.
Yes. Well, this episode almost was like a combination Iron Man, Black Panther.
Right.
Mashup.
Right.
All around. Minus the fact that we still have T'Chaka with us in this.
Right. Now, I didn't get any screen caps of this particular, other than this, from this particular scene, and the and the collection of vibranium that he had stolen. So this also lets us know that Claw had been on the run from Wakanda for a long time.
Oh yeah, the amount of vibranium he has collected in that. Oh yeah.
Yes, he'd been running for a very, very, very long time.
This actually harkens back to also Age of Ultron.
Well, yeah, it negates Age of Ultron.
Yep.
So, and that's why I was saying why because we don't see this stash. We don't first see this stash until what is it? Age of Ultron. Yeah, Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron, and even then, it's severely depleted by that point.
Right. So we get that, and this scene also, we have this scene. T'Challa is the Black Panther by now.
He's Black Panther already.
And his father hasn't died. T'Chaka hasn't died.
T'Chaka hasn't died. Shuri is still probably a preteen in this episode, but or a tween at this point. So she's still smart as a tack. But so this whole timeline is completely
jacked up.
Yeah.
So this whole scene, the whole premise behind this scene is in order to power the Liberator drones, they need vibranium.
Yep.
And Tony Stark can't go to Claw directly, so they con the U.S. government into sending Rhodey,
which is Don Cheadle Rhodey. Not Terrence Howard Rhodey.
Not Terrence Howard Rhodey. It's Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle's Rhodey.
And he's there on the ship, where Claw had all his stash. And in the midst of all this, T'Challa comes in, Black Panther, and disrupts the whole thing. And Rhodey keeps calling to Killmonger for backup, and Killmonger doesn't show.
Killmonger's not answering. Ding, 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 ding. There's a clue.
So this is where we take a hard left on the story, a severe hard left.
So with that hard left, prior to that was the scene with Tony and Killmonger in the bar.
Right.
Okay? And Tony makes the comment to Killmonger that they can be like Butch and Sundance, but he wants to be Sundance.
Right.
So, little fun fact, Sundance in the Butch and Sundance movie was played by Robert Redford, who in the MCU we know as Alexander Pierce, the head of Hydra.
Right.
If Killmonger hadn't killed Tony in this episode, could Tony have been on the path to have become the Alexander Pierce of this particular universe?
That's a good question.
Because we're already seeing a completely different Tony Stark here. We're seeing a Tony that he's still the playboy, philanthropist. Well, not even philanthropist,
and
playboy, and the guns maker still.
And funny thing is, he mentions that his particular speech from the original movie when he says he's not going to make weapons anymore and all that stuff.
That's when he says we're going to make.
And this one, he's going to make more and bigger ones.
And bigger ones, yeah.
So
could this episode had led us to the Tony Stark version of Alexander Pierce?
I would say no, because Alexander Pierce probably exists in his position by now, still.
In Hydra.
Because Pierce had been around for a long time. He knew Tony's father.
Bogota.
Killmonger is Sean.
Oh my God. Dude, that's an understatement.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know what? I like his style.
Oh, he's definitely sneaky.
I mean, yeah. I like his reasonings for, he's got a point for his reasonings, but I just, his methods, I don't really agree with, but
methods are a little extreme for the reasonings.
Too extreme.
Yeah.
Too extreme.
Way too extreme for the. Yeah. I even thought that in Black Panther when we first meet Killmonger.
Yeah.
I felt that his methods were still a little too extreme for what had happened.
He's definitely Black Panther's Magneto to Magneto's Xavier.
So, yeah, definitely. Good analogy. I like that.
It's we got the whole Martin Luther King Jr. Malcolm X dynamic.
Let's be specific here. Let's say this is the comic book Magneto, who is like 10 times nastier than any version that they put out in the movies.
Right.
Comic book Magneto is a nasty piece of work.
Yes.
Still one of the best villains.
Yes.
But nasty piece of work.
Yes.
So yeah. So what else you got here?
Okay, so in this scene also, Black Panther comes in, Killmonger doesn't respond to Rhodey's calls for backup. Instead, this is where it's also the scene. I didn't get a screen cap of this, but he stabs Rhodey in the back. He kills Rhodey and T'Challa.
He takes T'Challa's glove off his hand and he puts it on, and he kills Rhodey.
Yep.
Dude.
Kills Rhodey to make it look like the Black Panther did it.
Yep, and then he puts the supersonic, what was the Jericho weapon? He takes that supersonic Jericho. No, it wasn't the Jericho weapon.
If you recall the little device that Obadiah Stane used on the Ten Rings, this one was a more gaudier version of that.
And it was bigger.
Bigger. And he used it to stun T'Challa. No. I being who I am, I know where Killmonger was coming from. I just didn't like his methods. So it's the whole thing about would you say to paraphrase or quote Chris Rock when he said, "I would never hit a woman, never, but I sure would shake the what out of one."
Yep.
So anyway,
I'm not sure if I would exactly call Thanos a sympathetic villain.
No, I even understood his reasonings, but I still didn't care for his way of doing it.
Yes, Sean, he was.
Yep.
And yes, it was. It definitely was.
Yeah. So anyway, Killmonger thinks he's gotten away with everything.
No.
But because of Jarvis and the fact that Killmonger is using Tony Stark's equipment and whatnot, Tony has a full on reenactment of what happened, and this is similar to what happened in Iron Man 3 when he used Jarvis and computer stuff to figure out that it was a person who exploded to kill the people in that Christmas square in that one little town. So anyway,
Killmonger's mistake right there was was taking Tony's tech into that situation with him. If he really didn't want Tony to catch on what was going on, he shouldn't have taken the tech. But at the same time,
I don't think it was an accident.
It wasn't an accident because I'm pretty sure Killmonger had. So running through my head throughout this whole thing, he exposes Obadiah. So running through my head throughout this whole thing was Killmonger, the assassin Obadiah, hired to kill Tony? Yeah. I'm
going to say no.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm going to say no because he's the 10 Rings did use Stark Tech. And they weren't actually hired. If you recall, they weren't hired to kill him. They were hired to kidnap him and hold him for ransom.
That is true.
So him saying, Killmonger coming in and saying that, he was hired to assassinate Tony, that was made up. That was made up to further implicate Obadiah Stane. So.
All right, fair enough. We'll go with that.
I'm going to go with that.
I'll roll with that. Yeah.
So after the altercation with the Black Panther and and Rhodey,
where he wipes out 2 MCU Avengers.
And wipes out 2 MCU Avengers, and he comes back with a Dora Milaje spear. Hey, there's Dirk.
Hey, Dirk. There's Boss Man. You safely in Dallas, we hope.
Are you safe down here in Tejas? All right.
They are in the Big D. Yes.
Okay. Woo-hoo! Good. You survived.
Let the party weekend start.
You survived the traffic. Good. So, Killmonger walks out of there with a Dora Milaje spear.
Yep.
And Tony confronts him.
And he's swinging that spear like he knows what he's doing with it too. Holy cow!
Tony confronts him, and which you can tell that Killmonger was expecting all this because Tony locks him in a room with himself and a Liberator drone, and it doesn't end well. In fact, it ends like this.
To which my brain pulls a full South Park, and it's you kill Tony, you. How many times can this man die? I mean, I think in every episode so far we have seen Tony's gotten killed somehow, some way. Is there any version of Tony still alive? Somewhere?
Yeah. So, what is this? This is the third Tony Stark death.
Yep. So real quick, the guys are set up at Fan Expo. Woohoo! So if you're going out to Fan Expo, look for the Bad Candy table, and you will have the opportunity to meet Dirk and Robert Henry,
and the rest of the Bad Candy crew.
Yes, what he said. And then Mike, yes, it was a heck of an episode. It was. And yes, only when Kenny replaces Tony. Yes.
Right.
And thank you, Dirk. Yes, you will see both of us tomorrow.
You will.
Yeah, so I couldn't resist the whole how many times can you kill Tony Stark? We're up to 3. We're up to 3. The count is 3. We're on episode 6. So he's averaging a death every 2 episodes. We'll see how he fares.
Technically,
the episode.
technically, you could say 4 because after what Doctor Strange did to his entire universe.
Yes.
So in that one, everybody was wiped out. So.
Sean's saying they're at the Ranking Studios
table. The Ranking Studio table. Okay. Ranking
Studios table. Sorry, we were slightly off, but hey, look for Bad Candy or Ranking Studios. You'll find the guys.
That is if you're here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area.
Helps if you're down here in the DFW area. And yes, awesome, Mike. We're looking forward to seeing you too.
Can't wait to see you all.
Yes. Telling you, party weekend, man. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be a TFG weekend all around. I'm loving it.
And so so later on we get the same old stuff from Black Panther. After this, there's a huge setup.
Yep.
Killmonger, since he uses the Dora Milaje spear, which was the plan to bring that spear home.
Yep.
That was the plan. So he makes the U.S. government think that we've got an assassination attempt by the Dora Milaje.
Which puts Wakanda suddenly very squarely on the map and in the world's sight in a way that King T'Chaka is not really looking forward to. And
we get General Ross. So this is before the Incredible Hulk movie.
Yes. So, this is pre-Hulk Ross. He's still a dick.
Now that guy's
a piece of work. Oh my God.
That guy's a dick.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, you can go through those villains and say that they're dicks, but those are guys, they actually listen to people and take in the information, disseminate that information, and decide whether they're going to use that information against you or not. General Ross, on the other hand, won't listen to any effing thing.
No,
you have to say.
Yeah,
it's his way or the highway. And each time his way is the wrong way. He does not succeed anytime.
we see this happen all through the MCU. I mean, the last, what does he wind up doing? Okay, so we wind up with Sokovia Accords, and by this point, he's what, Deputy of Defense?
No, he's the Secretary of State, I do believe.
By the time that's Civil War, and then even after Civil War, he's still trying to rope Tony into doing what he wants and roping the rest of them into doing what they want, and he just makes a bigger mess.
Yeah.
Really, I hope he was one of the ones that zapped out of existence when Thanos made this. Oops, sorry.
We won't know that till later on, will we?
I don't even know if we ever do find out if he was, but yes.
So.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to see the Red Hulk.
I hear that's going to happen.
Is it? Oh, good.
There's rumor that that's going to happen. So we might finally get that solo Incredible Hulk movie.
We need more Incredible Hulk. I know people really abhorred the first two movies, and we've all kind of embraced Mark Ruffalo as Hulk and Bruce Banner. I want more Hulk. I want more of the Hulk story, because there is such. We got a touch of the off-world Hulk wars with him in Thor Ragnarok, but there's such a wealth of Hulk stuff that they haven't even touched on yet.
I mean, World War Hulk.
Yeah.
World War Hulk. Come on, y'all. I mean, that comic blew me away. But anyway.
We're good.
This whole scene leads up, like I said, this scene leads up to General Ross and basically the United States declaring war on Wakanda. And General Ross forces Stark Industries to build a whole army of Liberator drones. But before that, before those drones are deployed to Wakanda, Killmonger takes himself to Wakanda with Claw and does the whole. If you recall, in the Black Panther, he kills Claw and turns him in.
Yeah, so and carries him across the border into Wakanda.
We get that whole scene replayed out again, and he goes in there, and let's see. There's this scene.
Do you think Pepper would have allowed Ross to actually have taken over Stark Industries? Pepper in our MCU.
Oh, hell no.
See, that's what I was thinking too. It almost was like Ross. It was almost like she just rolled over too easy. And I don't think Happy would have. I don't think Happy would have supported that either.
Right. I don't think so either.
Thank you, Dirk.
But then again, also, at this point, also though, it's. I would probably say that War Powers thing. I can't remember exactly what it is.
War Powers Act, yeah.
I think that obligates. I think that obligates her to follow the rule. To follow that.
She could have stepped away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mike brings up a good point. Pepper would have had a backup plan. She always had a backup plan.
And she probably in this instance she probably did, but 30 minutes. So.
Yeah.
30 minutes. And I'm gonna get to that at the end of this here, or we'll get to the end of that spit out the words, Walt.
Come on, Walt, you can do it.
We'll get to that point at the end of this. So, this is where, this clip here is where, Killmonger hops aboard.
Liberator drones, yeah.
Is delivering the Liberator drones to the government, before he heads off to Wakanda with Claw and kills him.
Yep.
And and then this is when he walked in to the royal chamber to present himself as the nephew
of King T'Chaka
and
Queen Ramonda.
But the one thing that I really loved was when the Liberator drones are marching in, and Killmonger's feeding them his spiel about how they drew first blood and whatever and whatnot, when it was actually him, and the armies are lining up, and look who's general. This is the general of the Dora Milaje.
Here's the general. You gotta love it.
T'Challa's mother was the general.
Queen Ramonda.
General Ramonda.
General Ramonda. I love her.
How badass would it have been to have seen her in the mix, in the fight in Black Panther, in Infinity War, and in Endgame?
The scene in Endgame when all of the female come together. Queen Ramonda should have been in that scene. It would have been
Oh my goodness! Because
very badass. It would have been just like the culmination.
And I can't believe I went blank on the actress's name.
Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett.
Oh my gosh, she was phenomenal in this role.
We all know how much we wanted her to be Storm for the X-Men way back in the day.
Oh yeah.
She was down to play the part until she aged. Basically, as they say, she aged out.
She aged out. Yeah.
So, but yeah.
But seeing her in this role as Queen Ramonda, she's such a strong actress. The chemistry between her and Chadwick Boseman and Letitia Wright was perfect.
And if you want to see Angela Bassett kicking ass, I recommend watching Gunpowder Milkshake on Netflix.
Oh God, yes.
And then you'll say, yeah, we should have seen Angela Bassett, kicking some butt. But maybe we will in this next movie.
I would love to see. I hope we do see more of Queen Ramonda in the second Black Panther movie. I think she's a very strong character. She was definitely a well-received character in the comic books and everything.
Yeah.
And she's one of those minor characters that man, you just need to see her. You need to see her in a bigger role.
Yeah.
So I did a small tangent. I did a blog last week about sidekicks in fiction, and I actually had somebody come back and say, well, I haven't written any sidekicks in my fiction, and I really feel like if I was to write a sidekick, he'd be more like a mentor. And I said, well, do it. I said, because you can have a mentor as a sidekick.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I thought that was a whole different archetype. I said, well, if you do it right, you can have a mentor as a sidekick. And I brought up the point that, in a way, Mr. Miyagi in the Karate Kid movies was, in his own way, Daniel's sidekick.
Right.
He was Daniel's mentor, which can be a sidekick role.
Right.
You don't get his whole big story, which you're not supposed to as a sidekick. You get a small story. They have their own little arc that works with the main character and everything. And I would love to see them do something similar with Queen Ramonda and Shuri in the next movie.
Yep. Agreed.
She could be like Shuri's like sidekick, but yet at the same time, the mentor.
Because in a way, in Black Panther, Shuri was Black Panther's sidekick.
Yeah, Shuri was T'Challa's sidekick. Yeah.
Yeah. And in fact, anybody who is a supporting character to a main character in my book is a sidekick. in my opinion.
Yeah, in their own way, yes.
In their own way, they're a sidekick.
There's very specific things that a sidekick does. Typically, they're the voice of reason.
Right.
Or
the motivation behind the main character.
The motivation behind the main character. They usually have a smaller arc that works with the main character's arc. But typical sidekicks, Bucky and Steve.
Yep.
Sam and Steve.
Yep.
Mike brought up Holmes and Watson, although it's questionable which one is actually the sidekick.
Right. Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy. Sean brings up Yoda. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. In the original movies, in Empire Strikes Back and Revenge and Return of the Jedi, yes, Yoda was a sidekick. So I would love to see them do that with Queen Ramonda. Okay, yep. Small tangent over.
And then we get Killmonger finally gets to see the sunrise or sunset, whichever one. I can't remember which one it was that you wanted to see. Either way, he finally gets to see it. But we also get the Watcher in the background, and I love that they do this. They show this once or twice in every episode, and in the early episodes, it's hard to catch, but you can see them. But they started doing they were doing this in the background, and I think that that's one of the most awesome aspects of this show, because you get to see the narrator.
Like the first couple of episodes, we only got to maybe see a side silhouette shot.
Right.
Now I'm noticing we're getting more and more of the character. In this one, you can definitely tell that it's Jeffrey Wright.
Right.
Who we all know voices the Watcher. So it's I'm curious to see if we get to actually completely meet the Watcher by the end of the series.
Well, we kind of did in the Doctor Strange episode.
In a way, yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of, and I can't remember the character from it, and Sean or possibly even Mike will chime in on this with the character's name. But the character in Crisis on Infinite Earths who always popped up just before a multiverse was destroyed. What was that character's name again? Because he was doomed to do that.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I don't know the character's name.
And the Watcher, to me, and we're going back to that Doctor Strange episode when Doctor Strange finally noticed him and he was able to be seen. That episode, that part of that episode reminded me of what happened with that character from Crisis on Infinite Earths. Except it was kind of reversed, where that guy was showing up. He shows up just before that universe dies, and he's being tortured to do that. Whereas,
the guy in the green.
I think it was the guy in the green. I think on all the covers he's always like, ah. So anyway, and so here we have Killmonger finally. Oops, wrong picture.
No, sorry, we still like that picture.
So here we have Killmonger up on the cliff, and T'Chaka comes in to talk to him about everything, and then this is where Killmonger pledges his loyalty to Wakanda, but with an evil look on his face.
Oh yeah, there's ulterior motives going on in this guy. Come on.
Yeah, and it's after this that they give him the Black Panther potion, and he becomes Black Panther.
The heart-shaped flower.
Yeah, and he goes to the other plane and he meets T'Challa, and of course T'Challa asked him the question that Gamora's ghost asked Thanos. Was it worth it?
Was it worth it? Yep.
And my brain went boom.
I actually had to pause the episode right there because I was kind of like going, holy cow.
And what's even more mind-blowing about that, it's also Chadwick Boseman's next to the last appearance in the MCU. Yeah. So you have him saying that and all this stuff too, and I'm just like, man, that's deep. That's really deep.
That was another episode where I was just like, here, take my heart. I don't need it.
Yeah.
You haven't.
Yeah.
We're good, thanks.
Yeah.
Peace out. Just any of the scenes within this entire series with Chadwick are just, they're so deep and they're so heart-wrenching at the same time.
Yeah.
And man, they mean everything to all of us as the fans.
Yeah.
Everything.
And so
you want to talk about a lasting legacy.
Yes. So here's where I really flipped out and was like, okay, that's badass.
Mike got it.
Pariah. And why couldn't I remember that? Because that word is so, that name is so like in your face.
Maybe because we were talking about Obadiah and it's too close to Pariah. And
yeah, that's probably
just not going there, you know.
So look at this Black Panther outfit. So it's obviously the one from the movie, but with one additional change. Remember all the scars, the marks that he put on his face on his body for every kill? Yep. He's got all the kills.
It's within his
suit.
One of the other details I really liked about this, especially in this particular panel, you see it really clearly, is you can see the leopard spots. Even a Black Panther typically is a leopard that's solid black, but if you look at them closely, you can still discern the individual spots on that leopard.
And that also harkens back. That also harkens back to the old saying that a leopard never changes
his spots. Nope.
So a bad guy, once a bad guy, always a bad guy.
Yep.
And finally, we get the meeting of Pepper and Black Panther's little sister, and she's very young in this one. She's probably preteen.
9, 10, definitely a tween.
Yeah, she's a tween.
Yeah,
she's probably about 10, maybe 11. She's definitely smaller.
This is a pairing that I would enjoy seeing.
Oh, same here. I said the same thing because you have the very tech savvy little girl here,
and the very business savvy Pepper. With Tony's money to back them.
Tony's money, Tony's technology, as well as Wakandic technology, and vibranium. Can you imagine what the rescue armor is going to look like when they come back to this story?
Oh my God. The rescue armor? I mean...
and I know a lot of people weren't even thinking about that. I was like, can you imagine what the rescue armor is going to look at?
It would be a whole heck of a lot lighter. It wouldn't be the clunky Iron Man style armor. It would be more the Black Panther style armor, but with all the Tony stuff in it, all the repulsors and everything else in it, and the shock energy build that Shuri put into T'Challa's suit.
I would imagine a miniature arc reactor, but instead of using palladium and whatever other
vibranium,
using vibranium to power it. So
which is something that we saw in this episode. We saw Tony completely skip over the whole idea of the palladium because he never had to worry about developing it because he never became Iron Man. But instead creating the arc reactor using the vibranium and that Killmonger gave him.
He totally skipped over the arc reactor if you go back and think about it.
Yeah, he did. I mean, the Liberator drones were powered just straight up vibranium.
Yeah.
We never saw an arc reactor or anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Powerful stuff.
It was a very, very good episode. I enjoyed it. It's still not, to me, it's still not the strongest episode. To me, still the Doctor Strange episode is the strongest episode that they've produced out there. Plus, it's also the darkest.
This one I would say comes in a really close second, though, because the idea of the MCU without Iron Man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no Iron Man, there's no Avengers.
Well, not that we know of.
That we know of, yeah. At least in this particular universe, Wakanda is probably about to get completely exploited by Killmonger.
Yes. We will be visiting this. We will be visiting this universe again.
Yeah. This like I said, I want to see Shuri and Pepper. If we get that lucky, see Shuri and Pepper actually put something together.
Right, because we're definitely going to see Captain Carter again in some form or fashion. I mean, they've already teased us with that in their trailer.
They've teased us with more of T'Challa as Star-Lord.
Right. Who we haven't seen yet, though, we haven't seen Thor.
No, we have not.
I mean, we kind of we did, but he was killed. But we haven't seen Thor as Thor, which I do believe that episode is coming up soon, and it's going to be a younger Thor.
Which also gives us more Loki then.
Probably so. So
usually where there's Thor, there's Loki.
Right. Right. Where there's Thor, there's Loki.
And there's trouble right behind them. I'm just saying.
It's one of those things. And honestly, these episodes have been totally unpredictable.
Yeah, usually we're pretty good about being able to guess what they're going to do, and you, Dirk, and I, we've landed some on the nose, and there's no way.
These are very totally. I mean, it's called "What If" for a reason,
Well, it was like last week's episode. I was not expecting the very last scene of zombie
Thanos. Yeah, and he's in Wakanda already.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
about to snap. So
WTF?
Yeah.
So are we going to get to see that universe again? We're definitely going to see our Doctor Strange again.
Oh yeah. Possibly our Doctor Strange and that other universe's Doctor Strange together. They were teasing that in that mid-season trailer too, which I'm like all for and digging the idea of this.
Yeah, and the other thing that's really getting me is I'm wondering what aspects of What If we're going to see in Multiverse of Madness.
See, that is the thing that's got me going too. I mean, there's so much. Just in these 6 episodes alone has packed in so many questions.
Yeah.
And everything. I mean, I was reading something on the internet today. They're talking about possibly doing the live action zombie version.
Right.
Okay.
And I can't see that as a full-on movie. I can't see that as a full-on TV show or series, but I can see them popping up in Multiverse of Madness. For a brief moment.
The zombie one would be an interesting miniseries, only because we would get more Ant-Man and more Spider-Man.
We would, but I'm thinking I don't know if Sony would be down for that.
Yeah, that's the only problem. Sony's still holding on tight to the
Spider-Man
reigns.
That's why I'm more into them making it as like a cameo thing.
Yeah.
For this Multiverse of Madness movie. And it just might happen because we don't really know very much about what's going on in that movie.
We could see, Doctor Strange going through the different worlds or whatever, or however they're going to do it, and him just stop and pause on the zombie world and look at it like.
And an arm comes through and he closes it right away and that arm gets cut off.
And maybe it's like Wong's arm or something.
Or there's no telling.
It would be good if it was Wong's arm.
Yeah.
Or maybe Cape. Maybe Cape comes through or something and
you never know.
Because we need more Cape. We need more Cape. But yeah, that would work too. There's a lot of possibilities with the whole multi-universe that would put to go in.
I mean, I wouldn't even put it past if we see Peter Porker live action.
You are just itching for the Peter Porker live action, aren't you?
I'm itching to see anything from the multiverse. If it's been put on paper in a comic book, I'm itching for any cameo. We already know that the Spider-Man, the Japanese Spider-Man, is going to be in Into the Spider-Verse 2. That was already confirmed. And seeing as in the comic book version, they made that canon because he showed up in the comic book. I would love to see a reappearance of that live action.
You know, Chris Evans keeps coming out and teasing that he's, thinking about donning the suit one more time and everything. If he does as a cameo, I would love to see, it in the multiverse as, again, as Steven's going through whatever he's going through, and we get, Hell Hydra Cap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's the Cap I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see the Hell Hydra Cap.
We could get that one. Yeah, we could get that one. You know what? And that would be a perfect way of reintroducing him back into the regular MCU too.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's a couple of different ways that Cap comes back into regular canon, even after he dies in that one comic book and Bucky takes the shield, and then after Bucky becomes Watcher on the Wall and Sam takes the shield, we do have Cap come back. I'm thinking it's the Earth 616 Cap that comes back to our Earth, to Earth Prime.
Oh, there's so many. I mean,
there's a bunch of them.
You had he was replaced during Secret War by a Skrull, and all these other things.
That's another one right there that we might see if Chris Evans comes back as a cameo, as he may be coming back as Skrull Cap.
Yeah,
which would be interesting to see.
So, anyway, fun episode.
It was good.
Today or this week, looking forward to seeing what they're going to drop on us next week.
Yeah, next week should be interesting.
Next week is going to be fun because I'm thinking right now there's 3 left, and I know one of them is Thor, and I know the other one is the new Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
The What If Avengers, but I don't know what's going to happen in between that. And the only thing I can think of is from the poster is who is that in the all metal armor with,
Mm-hmm.
And I every time I look at that picture, I can't make out who that is, and I can't tell
either.
I can't tell if that's Ultron or what. So it's going to be interesting.
They're going to hold that one until the very last episode. I'm kind of hoping next week's is the Thor episode, because typically anything with Thor tends to be fun and upbeat. And
right, and it's supposed to be a really young Thor. So instead of being 1,500 years old, I guess he's going to be 1,000.
500?
1,000 years old or something like that. I don't know.
Going to be a younger Thor.
He'll be a younger Thor. Well, explain young in his years.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
His years. Explain young.
Oh my gosh, Asgardians and their weird aging. I'm telling you.
So
honorable mention for this week. I have one actually. Oh, go figure. Dan looked at me the other night and he said, "Hey, let's watch a movie. Can I pick?" And I said, "Sure." Wasn't paying attention on what he picked. I was getting dinner and everything, and I come in the living room with our dinner and hand him his plate, and he puts on this movie called The Losers. Comic book movie.
Love that movie.
I'm wondering why he's sitting there kind of chuckling until I see a younger Chris Evans with some interesting facial hair and geeky glasses, but yet still looking like, Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Idris Elba. Minus the Heimdall contacts.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, who comes bebopping in? Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who I'm a huge Jeffrey Dean Morgan fan. From the first time he walked on a Supernatural as John Winchester to The Watchmen to Negan on The Walking Dead. He's one of my favorites. And I looked at my husband and I said, "I love you for this. Thank you." And there and proceeded to eat my dinner and enjoy this movie. It was such yes, Mike.
Yeah. The elevator scene. The elevator scene is the best scene in that whole movie.
That scene was the bomb. That was great.
I love that scene.
That was great. So I caught up on Chris Evans movie I hadn't seen before. Just one of his many comic book appearances apparently.
I was going to have one today, and we might even just start kind of covering this with we might even start covering this show along with What If as a little. Oh, and by the way, this week why The Last Man, the first 3 episodes, dropped on Hulu this week.
Oh, really?
Yes. The first 3 episodes are out there, so we might talk about it next week.
I think so.
That'll be
time to catch up on it. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But for now, we're still What If. And also, if you didn't catch it, our next Marvel show that we will be covering is Hawkeye.
Which, after watching the trailer for that, I was like, okay, I'm in.
So we got Hawkeye coming up not next month, but in November.
He's not one of my favorite Avengers, but ever since they gave him that one-liner in Civil War where he makes, when somebody asks him about golfing, and he makes the comment, shot 9, made 9, couldn't seem to miss. I was like, okay, this is the Hawkeye I want more of. I want more of the snarky Jeremy Renner Hawkeye, and I think we're going to get that with this TV series. Yeah.
Also, the fact that his costume looks more like the new or the Ultimate Universe costume.
Ultimate Universe Hawkeye,
with the shades and everything. So be on the lookout. I will have an ad banner letting you know when we'll be back, because we'll probably be taking a hiatus. Because like I said, that's not until Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we got to figure that. We're gonna have to figure that out, because
we're going to figure that out
in the middle of nowhere, New Mexico, and we might want to postpone that one for a couple of days because I may not have.
So we're looking at either not Thursday.
Yeah.
Not Thursday, because that's actually Turkey Day.
It's actually Turkey Day, and everybody's going to be in a tryptophan coma, and no one's going to want to talk about nothing.
Right. So we're probably looking at the following Friday or Saturday, maybe even Sunday. We don't know yet.
If we do, I'm thinking maybe Sunday, because that will give Dirk and I both time to get home.
Yeah.
Because Dan and I are talking about Saturday. So.
I might even be out of town for that.
Yeah, I'm thinking let's plan like Sunday and jump on it. So either that or we can have a special longer episode the following week and cover episodes 1 and 2.
1 and 2. But
we don't know what we're doing, folks. We'll figure it
out. Although covering 1 and 2, it wouldn't be a spoiler to be covering episode 1 a week, 1 week later. So anyway, just throwing that out there and let you get your schedules set up.
Yes.
For Hawkeye.
Titans honorable mention.
Yeah. Since you caught up today, didn't you?
I caught up today.
So I can spill all the beans.
Oh, let's do some. And if you haven't seen it, hey, remember the show's called Spoiler Alert.
Spoiler alert. So I'm just going to keep this short, really short. So the last, 3 episodes that I haven't been able to talk about.
Yep.
We discovered that.
I'm sorry.
We discovered that Scarecrow is the guy behind the resurrection of Jason Todd,
played by Vincent Carthasia, and I gotta say he's come a long way from playing Angel's son on Angel to this.
Yeah, and the method used to bring him back has been a Lazarus pit. Yep. There's a Lazarus pit in Gotham, and so he chucked Jason Todd into the Lazarus
pit. Yep.
Screwed with his head, and he came back as the Red Hood. And
I thought that was a great reveal on the show.
Yeah, I did too. We got Barbara Gordon.
Yep. And Oracle. We're getting the Oracle.
And in this, Oracle isn't Barbara Gordon herself. Oracle is basically the system that she used to do all of her stuff. And instead of her being paralyzed from the waist down, she has lost a leg.
Yeah.
So
it's in my opinion, it's a more realistic change to the character. I agree. It works better, especially for live action.
I agree. The special effects on her being, one leg is pretty good. I have to say, I've been every episode I was wondering, is she? And then they had a flashback episode where she had both legs. I was like, that's some damn good special effects.
Yeah, very good special effects.
But yeah, and today's new episode dropped today, and Red Hood Jason Todd is trying to get back in with the Titans, pretty much. Oh,
and Tim Drake is trying to become the new Robin.
Tim Drake is trying to become the new Robin because he's figured it all out.
So
and there's no
Robin
Batman.
Number 3, folks, for those of you playing the home edition.
And the character, because I don't know about you, but Tim Drake is still my favorite Robin of all the Robins.
Dick Grayson has always held a very special place in my heart, but Tim Drake is probably the one.
Dick Grayson as Nightwing has always been my favorite thing.
Yeah,
when he transitioned to Nightwing is when I became a fan of Dick Grayson.
Yes, I liked him as Robin, but yeah, when he transitioned to Nightwing, that was when I was really like, oh yes,
and his personality changed and his tactics changed. So as far as him being Robin, yeah, he's the first Robin, but to me, he's not the best Robin.
Yeah, but Tim Drake is. I agree with you. Tim Drake is the best Robin.
He's the best Robin.
Yeah, and I've got to admit, I'm not a big fan of Superman, Supergirl, Super anything. I will take Superboy, this version of Superboy, any day of the week. Cal is the bomb.
And he hooked up with Blackfire.
Yes, and he hooked up with Blackfire. I'm sorry, but I am totally shipping Cal and Blackfire. Okay, I can't help it. I'm doing it.
He hooked up with Blackfire in this episode. Yeah, and which was kind of funny because Blackfire in the previous episode was looking at Starfire and going, "You're not hooked up with him?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's like,
so.
And then Starfire just looks at him like, "Are you just leaving again?"
Right.
And doesn't say anything else. It just keeps on walking.
It just keeps walking, yeah. But still, my favorite character in the two. I have two favorite characters in this whole show because I think
I know what one of them is.
Yeah, you know who one of them is, but the other one that I like the most is Beast Boy.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
For some reason, the actor playing Beast Boy is by far the one putting in the best performance of all the actors in the entire series. He's the one putting in the best performance.
If anybody's wondering, Walt's second favorite character is Crypto.
Crypto's my favorite.
Because Crypto's one of mine too.
Yes.
I love that dog.
Because it's like as soon as he see Crypto, he just kind of stands there with this look, and everybody's like, "Oh shit." Because he just, for the most part, he just stands there, and everybody's like.
And Crypto's just like, "Pet me."
Well, I mean, not when he's in a situation.
Oh, yeah, when he's in a situation,
in an action situation, it's like that's Crypto. We are not Superboy. Superboy, has restrictions, but that's a dog. We don't know if the dog's got restrictions on itself.
Yeah, we don't know what the dog's going to do here.
And we've seen the dog use his laser eyes and all that stuff in the.
We've seen Crypto do some cool things already.
So. Yeah. But yeah,
I want to know
Beast Boy and Crypto.
When is Raven coming back?
I want to know when Raven's coming back too.
She's the one thing that's missing from this season. I mean, the season has been really good, but Raven, I'm feeling Raven's absence in this season.
And I think Raven's reappearance is going to be big because seeing as she's on Themyscira and they're trying to resurrect Donna Troy.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to happen. And when she comes back, she's going to be Troya. That's
what I'm thinking too.
Which that's a character I just wish they just left it at, but they have to, tap into all the different versions of the comics.
And you got to have the Wonder Woman tie-in somehow. I mean, we've got the Batman tie-in, we've got the, we've got the Superman tie-in.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's Titans for this week.
I want to see more of the Justice League. I
would like to.
Gotten Batman.
Where's Kid Flash?
Yeah.
We know the original Aqualad's dead. Would like to see Kid Flash. Where's Wally? He needs to come in and visit. He is he the official Flash now, or is he still Kid Flash?
Yeah, exactly. Depends on what you're watching.
Yeah. So
I would like to think in the way that they have done Titans, and considering that we have an older statesman Batman, I would think he's actually Flash at this point.
I would think so too.
Yeah. So who was Kid Flash after Wally?
Impulse.
Okay.
Impulse came in from the future, and he wasn't Kid Flash for a while. He was just Impulse.
He was just Impulse, yeah.
So I would even if they introduce Impulse, then we know Wally's Flash.
Yep.
So
we've got what, season 3 of Doom Patrol starting soon too.
In fact, that starts next week. Next week.
Super ready for that.
So we may even drop in a little Doom Patrol.
Bummer that Brendan backed out of the expo this weekend.
Yeah, but that expo guest list is so huge.
Well, I suspect, considering that they just announced that he's going to be in another TV series with Tom Welling, who played Superman in Smallville. CW just picked it up. I'm suspecting his filming schedule has just gotten way
out there. Yeah,
that's like I'm okay with.
That's that. Like Dave Bautista. I mean, this is the third time Dave Bautista had to back out of Fan Expo because of filming scheduling. I mean, the first time he was going to be down here in Texas, it was like it seemed like he had just gotten off the plane, and they were like, "Hey, we want you to come do this screen test for the James Bond movie." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, don't mind us.
Don't mind us. Go. Okay, go.
See ya.
You're good. You're good.
See ya. Bye. Maybe next time. So, anyway.
Let's, where can everybody find you? Well, hold on here. Let me bring your banner up. Go find you. There you are.
Yep. We're not doing anything special today. So there you go right there. Right down there. You can find me at What Walter Cons on Facebook, whatstudioart.blogspot.com, and twitch.tv/Gatchaman_1. And you can go to my Zazzle store at zazzle.com/store/whatstudioart. And there's underscores in between those words. So don't forget that. You can
definitely need to go to his Zazzle store.
You need to go to my Zazzle store.
You can get one of these on his Zazzle store?
Yes.
That's just one of the designs.
And I'm also open for commissions. I don't have any prices listed down on my What Walter Cons Facebook page yet, but that will probably happen after this weekend, seeing as now I can take payment on PayPal, Zelle, and Cash App. So I will get those prices out there right away by the end of the weekend or by this time next week.
Okie dokie. So you can find me at all these places down here. You can find all of my novels and my writing blog at bethannfreely.com. If you're looking for a manuscript editor or someone to design your website, you can find me at themusesfunhouse.com. And, I'm everywhere on here, Twitter, Instagram, at BA Freely. My link tree is also on there, which can link you to different places that you can find my novels. Or if you're interested in possibly becoming an ARC reader for my next novel, I'm looking for people. So hit me up at bethafreely@gmail.com or info@themusesfunhouse. So that's what we got going on.
And again, Fan Expo Dallas this weekend at the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center, downtown Dallas. Tomorrow through Sunday.
Come and check out the Ranking Studios table and what Dirk and Robert Henry have going on with the Skull Candy comics. And keep an eye out for Walt and I. We're going to be wandering around there this weekend.
I'm going to be wandering around trying not to spend money.
No, I'm going to be spending some money. I have some money to spend. My birthday weekend, I'm spending some money.
I'm going to be walking around trying to keep from spending money. So, and also I'm going to have my little business cards with me. So I'll be doing some little small. Let's see. I won't be having any colors, but I'll be doing some little small collector business cards.
And he'll do them right on the spot for you guys.
I'll do them on the spot for a small piece, small fee. So.
Yeah, which reminds me, I kind of gather up a bunch of my business cards just to have them with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be there with sketch pad, sketchbook, pencils, pencil sharpeners, erasers, maybe an ink pen. I don't know if I want to be bothered with ink this weekend.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, yeah, and Mike Kennedy will be down there.
Yeah, Mike's going to be joining us.
Mike, is Sean, you're not going to be here this weekend, are you, Sean? Were you going to be here this weekend, Sean? I can't remember if you were going to be here.
No, I don't think Sean and Scott were making it this weekend.
Oh, I know Scott can't make it.
Yeah.
But
Sean was
all of us artist types will be walking around, and
all us Task Force geekers.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys down here, so I can introduce you to some of the other artists that are down here that will be there at the show, and that we've been trying to get on the Tuesday night show. So maybe a face-to-face, you'll be able to get them to make an appearance on the Tuesday night Task Force Geek.
There we go. There we go.
And that's it for me.
That's pretty much all we've got. So for Walt and the rest of the Task Force Geek family, thank you for joining us for Spoiler Alert. And hopefully we'll see you this weekend at the Fan Expo.
Have fun.
Until next week, same time, same station. Y'all have a great week. Bye.